Hello, this is Bill Hargin. This short presentation highlights my experience and lessons learned across over 100 some international business trips over the last 15 years. I feel fortunate in that I've been able to do business development in 30 different countries, making up to 10 trips to a good number of these countries. As a presenter and a technology evangelist, I was often pulled in to launch new products in international markets. My articles, seminars, and training workshops over this time have been translated into a dozen different languages, in fact. In that time, across this 100 some international trips, I've developed some principles that I believe would help anybody who's trying to penetrate international markets. The context here is from someone from the United States, for example, with a company that's headquartered in the United States, traveling overseas to represent our products from North America into an international market. Number one principle, each of these is the tip of a bigger iceberg. I could make a 1 hour presentation just out of this slide, but I'll have to keep it short here. Number one, prove it locally before going broad. My rule of thumb is it's about 5K a week that we spend, actually a little more than that, but round it off to 5K to travel overseas. And that's a pretty costly place to run experiments that could be run here in our own home market. Get it working at home, whether it's your sales process, your marketing awareness process, collecting R&D data. Get it working at home before hopping on a plane and spending a lot of extra time and money. Number two, do your homework. Scale your trip preparation to the cost of the trip. Pretty obvious, but I've seen people violate it, and I have myself before. Number three, learn the language and business practices for each market. It's pretty easy to learn hello, goodbye, please, thank you, or even do you speak English in any language. I've done it on planes many times while I'm flying to a country, and I know a minimum of those 5 phrases anytime I go into a non-English speaking country, and people always appreciate it. Consider this too. In the United States, it's common with a presentation to open up with, let's say, a story or some sort of a funny, anecdote or something like that. In Japan, that's frowned upon because the audience actually wants you to start out with telling them what you're going to say, then presenting it and backing it up with research and facts, and then telling them what you said. If you lead off like a typical American style would do, doesn't go over very well. I was able to research this online before one of my Japanese trips, and I think it helped me out in my presentation. I've done the same thing for literally every market I've gone to, and it really helps to do the additional research. People appreciate it. Number 4, intercepting jet lag. I think everybody who's traveled overseas has lost, a day going and a day coming back minimum due to jet lag. You wake up at 3 a.m., your blood sugar drops in the afternoon, and what I've found is really a process that works whether I'm going east or going west, that gets me in sync with the local time zone the same day that I arrive, which is pretty neat, and I've documented it on this page. Last point here, persistent presence and follow through. We really can't be doing, drive-by marketing visits. An international business trip needs to be part of an overarching plan. It's not an end unto itself. If it's worth going somewhere one time, it's worth following through with action items that you collect while you're there, following up on commitments that you make, and coming back in a month or 2 or 3 months to close the loop on anything you commit to. If you'd like, you can hit pause and read over this quote from Mentor Graphics' country manager in Israel. He brought me over there a number of times to present at the annual Solutions Expo events. And I used the principles from slide number 2 anytime I went to Israel or any other country, and the results are shown here. Final slide in this presentation, same story as the previous slide, but this was in Finland. And what's interesting about this situation is we were risking losing a $1 million account, which was a big account for us. And I used the principles from slide 2 plus a real tight connection with our engineering team to turn this one around and make both the customer and the local account team happy with results. Thanks for listening.